Good afternoon, student. This is Alka. Now, start your new chapter, that is nutrition, health, and well-being. So, in this chapter, first of all, we start with the introductory part. So, the children grow continuously, and so their nutrition needs depend on their rate of growth, body weight, and on how effectively the nutrients are utilized at each stage of their development. Since physical and mental development takes place very rapidly in children, nutritional deficiency at this stage can result in lifelong impairments and disabilities. On the other hand, adequate nutrition ensures that children grow to their full potential. We therefore need to understand the art of balancing their food intake while enjoying variety of foods from all the food groups. It is generally believed that good nutrition is reflected in height and weight gained by children, but effectively it improves and maintains their well-being in totality. Adequate nutrition contributes towards function of the organ and system of the body, cognitive performance, body ability to fight disease and restore healing, increase in energy levels, develop pleasant and positive attitude. So, nutrition, health, and well-being during infancy, birth to 12 months. Infancy is marked by rapid growth and changes, especially during early infancy, birth to 6 months, and phenomenal. In fact, it is known that infants require twice as many calories per kg of the body weight as required by an adult doing heavy work. It is impossible to fulfill this requirement through adequate nutrition. Besides energy, children should get protein for rapid growth, calcium for rapid calcification of bones, that is healthy bones, iron for growth and expansion of blood volume. Dietary requirement for infants. Infants are able to regulate their needs by consuming more milk or less milk. Their nutrition requirements are met through the composition of the breast milk and contribution from complementary foods given to them. The recommended nutrients are computed on the basis of composition of mother milk. An average secretion of 850 milliliter of breast milk of a well-nourished mother should provide all the nutrients for the first 4 to 6 months. The baby thrives well if the mother is well nourished. She must therefore eat a diet rich in protein, calcium, and iron, and consume adequate quantities of fluids like milk, soup, fruit juices, and even water to avoid malnutrition. So next is breastfeeding. Mother milk is nature's gift to the newborn baby. It is enriched with all the required nutrients which are easily absorbed. WHO recommends exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. During breastfeeding, even water is not required. Babies should be put on breast milk soon after birth. During the first 2-3 days, a yellow color fluid known as colostrum is produced. Babies must be fed on it as it is very rich in antibodies and protects a child from infections. So, benefits of breastfeeding. It is nutritionally tailor-made for meeting the infant's nutritional need. It is enriched with all the nutrients in required proportion and form. Example, the fat present is emulsified. It is a simple, hygienic, and convenient method of feeding both for the mother and the child. Milk is available at all times and at the right temperature. It protects babies from gastrointestinal, chest, and urinary infection due to the presence of antibodies in it, given it naturally immunity, and it is free from allergens. It gives protection to mother against breast and ovarian cancer and also from developing weak bones. It is very conducive for healthy, happy emotional relationship between the mother and the child. Baby know when and how much they want, and so the best clock is baby hunger. Though efforts must made toward regularizing the feeding intervals after a baby reaches 1 month of age. So, feeding the low birth weight infant, you may know that some children are born low in body weight. A baby weighing less than 2.5 kg at birth is considered as low birth weight. The problems facing such babies are that they have poor sucking and swallowing reflexes. Their absorption capacity is also very low because of the small size of their stomachs and intestine, but they have a relatively high calorie requirement. Breast milk produced by their mother has all the essential amino acid, calories, fat, and sodium content. It meets all the requirements antimicrobial property of their mother milks protect them some from infection. So undoubtedly, mother's milk is the best food for low birth weight babies. Simultaneously, they require vitamin, calcium, phosphorus, and iron to promote steady growth. Dietary supplements should be considered only if the baby does not gain weight satisfactorily. Complementary food. Complementary feeding is the process of gradually introducing other food along with breast milk. Food that are introduced are thus called complementary foods. These can be introduced by 6 months of age. It is important that in the process of complementary feeding, good hygienic condition must be maintained when using feeding bottle and utensils to avoid infection to the baby. So, in order to ensure the fulfillment of nutritional need of infant, complementary food should be calorie dense and should provide at least 10% of the energy as protein. Guidelines for complementary feeding: only one food should be introduced at a time. Small quantities should be fed in the beginning, which can be gradually increased. Do not force if the child dislikes any food. Try something else and reintroduce later. Spicy and fried food should be avoided for small babies. All type of food should be encouraged without showing personal dislike. Variety in food is important to make new food acceptable. So next is immunization. Good health and good well-being are not entirely dependent on good nutrition. We all are aware of the role of immunization in protecting children from various diseases. You may be interested in knowing how immunization protects children from disease. A vaccine that contains an inactive form of a bacterium, virus, toxin made by germ is injected in the child. Being inactive, it does not cause infection but induces white blood cell to produce antibodies. These antibodies then kill the germs when they attack the child's system. Common health and nutrition problem in infant and young children. We have learned in chapter 10 in part 1 how nutrition and infection are interrelated. In fact, malnutrition is a national problem. It is a consequence of several factors such as illiteracy, poverty, ignorance about nutritional needs of children, and poor access to health care, especially in rural and tribal areas. Children begin to be malnourished when breast milk is no longer available in adequate amount and continues to remain so till they make full use of family diet. During this period, incidence of diarrhea is very common in infants. It results in depletion of water and electrolytes from the body, and the condition is a major cause of infant mortality. Research evidence favor the view that nutrition factor play a role in causations of tuberculosis, particularly in populations subjected to food shortage. Primary herpes simplex is another infectious disease which affects children if they are suffering from malnutrition at the same time. Nutritional deficiency disease may set in at this stage if the infant is not exclusively breastfed and when complementary food do not meet the nutrient needs of infants. Let us list the important deficiency disease that may occur in childhood. Protein energy malnutrition leads to growth retardation and infection leading to diarrhea and dehydration. Anemia caused due to iron deficiency. Nutritional blindness result to vitamin A deficiency. Rickets and osteopenia and bone related due to shortage of vitamin D and calcium. Goiter, enlargement of thyroid gland due to deficiency of iodine. Much of the major effect of nutrition and communicable disease have already been focused in the previous chapter. There are 6 decade communicable disease, namely polio, diphtheria, tuberculosis, pertussis, measles, and tetanus compound. The incidence of mortality and morbidity more so in developing countries like India. The low age of attack is one more factor responsible for high fatality. The problem was when infection and malnutrition coexist in the same infant. Immunization given at different stages of the first year of the life gives lifelong immunity to children against communicable diseases. So that's all for the today. Thank you so much. Have a good day.